Biden, it's nice to have you here. As the youngest member of the Senate, the one, therefore, who may expect the longest career there, I wonder if you'd say to us, since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected, why should people think that the system produces corrupt results when there you are?
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that.
And this party better understand full well that it's about time we change our attitude and we begin to change the attitudes of Americans about what their responsibilities are to the poor, about what their responsibilities are to other people, and about what our responsibility in the world is. And that requires changing attitude. This country needs a leader.
Weapons that have, in my view, no place in hunting or sport, and whose only real function, is to kill human beings at a ferocious pace.
Or we don't participate at all, which means nothing happens because the Europeans have no center on this issue. Nothing will happen except the embargo will be on, the genocide will continue, our interest will be badly damaged, the cancer will spread, and my son may not go to Bosnia today, but he may be in Eastern Germany in 8 years. If we thought we had a moral interest, a national interest in restoring the Emir of Kuwait to the throne, God bless his soul, to send 500,000 troops there, tell me why we don't have a moral interest in stopping what was international aggression by Serbia, crossing the Drina River into a UN-recognized country, and participating in fomenting genocide. In Kuwait, we had to come up with a single example of one young woman who was raped and beaten, who turned out not to be true. Enraged people about the awful things Saddam Hussein was saying. And here we have mass graves. I visited with Bob Dole a hospital in Sarajevo. You know who was in the hospital? 7 children. You know why there were only 7 children? Because the Serbs sit in those hills. And they have as a campaign of terror the maiming of children. Walk with me through Sarajevo streets and see draped across the roads blankets and sheets. I thought it was the Lower East Side in 1919 in this new economy. Nobody's left behind. There's one thing I've learned in my years here. Once you change the rules and surrender the Senate's institutional power, you never get it back. I'm here for their future. I'm here for the future of your kids. I'm here for everyone I grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, who's been forgotten, and everybody in Claymont, Delaware, and Wilmington, where I lived. I'm here for the cops and the firefighters, the teachers and the line workers, the folks who live, the folks whose lives are the measure of whether the American dream endures. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no ordinary time. This is no ordinary election. And this may be our last chance to reclaim the America we love, to restore America's soul. Ladies and gentlemen, America gave Jill and me our chance. It gave Barack and Michelle their chance to stand on this stage today. It's literally incredible.
I'm Vice President Joe Biden. We all know our economy is in crisis. A lot of people have been hurt by the mortgage crisis, the Wall Street slump, the loss of millions of jobs. But the middle class has been hit particularly hard. President Obama and I, and in fact our whole administration, are hard at work to put us back on the path of recovery. And the middle class, the economic engine of this nation, must be healthy in order for us to succeed. Quite simply, a strong middle class equals a strong America. Way of life in jeopardy. This is just not about jobs. This is just not about whether or not your waterfowl is polluted and you can't fish. This is an entire way of life that's in jeopardy. And to sit there and say that we're being, in effect, as I understood the statement, that he was ashamed we're being tough on an oil company who caused the problem. I mean, I just think that it's pretty important to the people of Louisiana all the way through Florida and even in his home state of Texas that people disassociate themselves. I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed Johnson to the Academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard.
For your trust and confidence, and to the U.S. Senate as well for their trust and confidence. I've got a lot of thanks to give out here. First and foremost to my perfect...
I don't want you to have to stand all alone, but it's up to you. By the way, he gave me permission to touch him. Donald Trump's story. Just listen to me a second without booing or cheering. I mean this sincerely. We should really think about this. His cynicism is unbounded. His lack of empathy and compassion can be summed up in a phrase that I suspect he's most proud of having made famous. You're fired. I mean, really, I'm not joking. Think about that. Think about that. Think about everything you learned as a child, no matter where you were raised. How can there be pleasure in saying you're fired? He's trying to tell us he cares about the middle class. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey. No major party nominee in the history of this nation has ever known less or has been less prepared to deal with our national security. We cannot elect a man who exploits our fears of ISIS and other terrorists, who has no plan whatsoever to make us safer. A man who embraces the tactics of our enemies, torture, religious intolerance. You all know. All the Republicans know. That's not who we are. Grow up, Donald. Grow up. Time to be an adult. You're president. You got to do something. Show us what you have. You're going to propose it in legislation. We're going to get to debate it. Let the public decide. Let them vote in Congress. Let's see what happens. And I've been here for 8 presidents. This is the first president to make a full-throated, unvarnished attack on the entirety of the FBI. Not going after J. Edgar Hoover, who was one person in the FBI and exonerated. This is to discredit the FBI and discredit his own Justice Department. You know, look, I spent a lot of time traveling around the world. What do you think they're thinking in Moscow? This is doing everything that Putin ever wanted. Sowing doubt about whether or not our justice system is fair, sowing doubt about whether or not there is anything that's remotely consistent with our Constitution. It's a disaster. Constitution, our democracy, our basic integrity, he should be impeached. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate.
Question to you, as you have refused in the past to talk about it, are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now.
You're going to pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't want
you're a
to answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question
You want to
is
put a lot of
the
new
question
Supreme
is
Court justice,
the
radical
question-
left.
Will you
Who
shut
is
up,
your,
man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
Right, gentlemen, I think
This
we've
is
ended
so
this.
unprecedented.
He's going to pack the court.
We have ended. No,
Folks, in the last days of the campaign, I began thinking about a hymn that means a lot to me and my family, particularly my deceased son, Bo. It captures the faith that sustains me, which I believe sustains America. And I hope it can provide some comfort and solace to 230,000 Americans who
have lost a loved one to this terrible virus this year, my heart goes out to each and every one of you. Hopefully this hymn gives you solace as well. It goes like this. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, and make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. And now together, on eagle's wings, we embark on the work that God and history have called upon us to do with full heart.